Welcome to Divorced from Reality with Johnny Bardine.
Welcome to Divorce from Reality with Johnny Bardine. Johnny is a dedicated attorney who has been serving the Tampa Bay community for over a decade. With a mission to help individuals and families through their most challenging times, Johnny provides compassionate, fierce advocacy in all family matters. Johnny, on February 23rd, you mailed an open letter signed by 383 Stetson Law alumni. We're recording this on February 25th, and by the time this airs next week, there may or may not be a response. You anchored this letter in the Florida bar oath. Why make that the foundation?
Because that's the foundation of the profession. Simply put, I mean, that's at its core what we're all trying to do, which is defend people who can't defend themselves, be honest, behave ethically and professionally with our colleagues, not impede investigations, and not unlawfully redact documents, and not serve the bidding of one person to the exclusion of, in this case, the rest of our clients, which are the American people.
In your mind, how do you distinguish partisan disagreement from professional responsibility?
Well, I don't think it's hard. I think they're entirely distinct, and the feedback from this letter and the signatories who have signed it point to that, because it's post-partisan. They come from all sorts of people. The other attorneys who have went to law school with Pembani, had cases against her, fundraised for her in her previous campaigns, helped her out, but then this is just a bridge too far. And how you conduct yourself ethically is going to be paramount over your political party every time.
What are you specifically asking Stetson to do?
It's a really reasonable ask. We're asking them to reaffirm their ethical principles that they've instilled upon us, and issue a public statement to publicly disapprove of this conduct of their most prominent alum.
Yeah. And we have Rachael Reese here, our special guest. Rachel, from your perspective as a criminal appellate attorney, how central is candor and truth to the justice system?
I mean, I don't think that there is a more central and critical aspect to the profession. I think that their candor in all sense of, from attorneys, to judges, to every administration, to at the end of the day, it is what makes a case and the integrity of that case something that is reliable. So it is the absolute center of everything that we have ever been taught and what we stand on.
And if public trust erodes at the top of the profession, does that affect everyone practicing law? I think I know the question or know the answer here, but I'd like for both of you to chime in on this. That public trust, how are we eroding at the top of the profession because of this?
Yeah. So good question. Really good question. And the answer is, we look to our leaders for what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Right. And so the people at the top are able to be licentiously flexible with the public trust, or not care about it at all. I think that gives that's a stunning lack of accountability. And I think the fear is that if they can get away with it without consequence, then other people, not just lawyers, but people in the general public, will follow suit.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think that one of the reasons that it is so instilled in us, and they make you jump through hoops before you can officially be sworn in with at least the Florida bar, in terms of your understanding of professional responsibility and your ethical moral compass, if you will. And the reason behind that is because we have to rely on the trust of others. So at least for me, my clients have to trust that I am going to do whatever is in their best interest, fight for them as hard as I can. And I think when somebody that is supposed to be at the very, very, very tippy top of our entire legal system shows that they are no longer following in that same sort of understanding of honesty and candor, then why does anybody else that falls behind them or under them, why do they have to do the exact same? And I think that lack of trust will lead to the entire system quite literally to crumble, I think, because Without that, I don't really know what there is.
I agree with that. I mean, this feels to me existential for our profession, for our collective morality. Yeah.
So, Rachel, I have a follow-up question with that. So, is silence neutral in a situation like this? I know you have a strong opinion about whether we should speak up or stay silent.
So I have always, well, I shouldn't say I've always believed this because that's actually not true. Stetson actually taught me that, or in so many words taught me that to stay silent in some situations is you are offering an opinion. By staying silent, especially in this kind of situation, you are allowing anybody that is considering let's just say the issue. You are letting their mind wander, and because they do not know, are you in support of Pam Bondi? Are you in support of the position that she has taken in her testimony on the 11th? Are you in support of arguably one of the most high profile, if not the most high profile alumni from Stetson University College of Law? Are you in support of her supporting possible illegal acts and crimes and other possible perjured testimony, et cetera, things of that nature? And on the other side of that, or are you, by staying silent, are you in support of the actual principles and values that you promote to your students every single day and what you hope in the future for future students and future lawyers of the United States, state of Florida? And I think by staying silent in this situation, it is not neutral. You're not staying neutral because you are allowing anybody that wants to review this they can have an opinion, and that opinion might not be correct. And I think that undermines the trust in Stetson itself because, again, these values were so at the forefront of our education and were so important for moving forward with integrity that to not have an opinion, it's not about politics. It's not political. It's about what our profession is based on. It is so much more. It's so much beyond that. So I think that staying silent right now, it just misses a lot of opportunities for clarification, leadership, to help ensure the trust of the establishment moving forward. And without that, I think that it could be very, very dangerous.
So yeah, I agree with all that, and I think that in most matters, in this type of matter specifically, silence is complicity. I see very little daylight between doing the thing and shutting up about the thing when you know it's wrong. And so when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about two quotes. One is sometimes attributed to Edmund Burke, which is, "All that's necessary for evil to triumph is for the good men to do nothing." And I think that's at the heart of it. And the second one, is, when thinking about the College of Law's position of neutrality, is that you can't be neutral on a moving train. You can't be neutral on a moving train. Howard Zinn said that, and I think that's accurate. And I think the locomotion of 400 angry lawyers is going to be too much to ignore. And we spent a lot of money to go to the school that teaches. I took a class on professional ethics, and the textbook for that class is our case studies of bad acting lawyers. And that whatever they did pales in comparison to what we're seeing now. And then we spent some more money to take a test called the Multinational Professional Responsibility Exam. So it's important. So ethics is clearly important to this school. And do they mean it or don't they?
And Johnny, where I'd like to wrap this up is one last question. Is this about one official or about the profession?
That is a good question. This is about defending the profession and being the best that it can be. It's not about one official. It just happens to be a very clear example of someone in our profession who ought not be or ought to be held to account for this.
I think we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much for listening to Divorced from Reality with Johnny Bardine. For more information or to connect with Johnny, visit BardineLawFirm.com. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or leave a review if you found this episode helpful. And we are going to do a part 3, so do listen for that as well.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.